sitting in the car right now.
Okay, fantastic. So welcome. This is Selena Ward. She is running for Hillsborough County School Board District 5. The format today is we're trying to give you more time than you've had at some of the panels because we've heard from voters that they're hearing the same 2-minute answer over and over again, and you're not able to get kind of in depth. And so you have 20 minutes. The floor is yours. I have 7 guiding questions, and I will ask the first one. But you can answer 1 question, 5 questions. You can go off that to say what you want. The floor is yours for the 20 minutes. But some people need some prompting, so I do have questions to ask you. Okay, so your time will start when I ask the first question. Do you have any questions about the format?
No, I love it. So basically it's 20 minutes and you have some questions and we can keep going, or I can talk as long as I would like on one of the subject matters.
Correct. So
I can't really see myself. So do you have a good view?
Yeah, I can see you. Yep. Yep. We can see you.
Good. Okay.
So the first question is, I'm going to publish the first question, which is, tell me what you love about public schools.
Oh, that is a great question. First of all, I want to thank you for having me today. But what I really love about public schools, not only here in Hillsborough County, but across the many states that I've lived in, is the opportunity for children to grow up together, to get to know each other, and to have that neighborhood connection. That is the great thing about public school. That was the highlight of my life. I went to school in a very small town from kindergarten to 12th grade with the same people, and we grew up together. Now, we live in a bigger city here in Tampa, so that's not always the case. You can go to a public school and be in a program like my daughters happen to be in, and your friends may live across town. So public school has definitely grown from what it was when I was growing up. But the great thing is there are a lot of opportunities to make friendships for the kids to grow, to have so many opportunities that are available locally without them having to pay additional money to be involved with. And I just think that's a great opportunity. Hillsborough County is doing a great job with the different programs we have and allowing our children to be connected across the county and just have so many great opportunities. So I enjoy public school is the right choice for my 2 older daughters, and I enjoy all the programs that we have here in Hillsborough County and the connection that you're allowed to have with the neighborhood and to make those lifelong friendships. I believe that, education is definitely what school's about, but I believe there's a lot of lessons that come along with that as well. So I believe in those type of bonds and those friendships that the school environment creates.
So the next question is, what are the attributes of an effective school board member? Which attributes are your strengths and which do you struggle with?
So the job of the school board member, of course, which I'm sure you all have heard this many times before, is one, to hold the superintendent accountable, to manage the budget. Also, I believe in a district like District 5, the school board member has to be a person that listens and is available. I'm a mom. I get it. I've served and worked as an educator. I get it. When you go to your school board member as a parent or as a teacher, staff, even a community member, you want to be heard. So I believe one of the attributes is being able to be an effective communicator. You have to be available, present, and willing to speak to your constituents, your parents, the community. You have to be available to more than just the superintendent. I believe that is something that District 5 has been asking for, something that District 5 needs. And that's something that I pride myself on. From the beginning of this campaign, I have been open. I've given out my phone number. I've done a lot of walking and talking to my neighbors, to people in the community, to people in the district, finding out what their needs and their concerns are. I believe it's important to write policy. Yes, I believe it's important to keep the superintendent accountable. Absolutely. But I also believe it's important to be in touch, to understand what the needs are. And those needs, like I said, go from teachers to community members, to parents, to the students as well. So you have to be present. You have to be willing to communicate. And I believe that's my strength. You also asked what the weakness would be. So first of all, I don't think that anyone walks around saying that, they've managed billion-dollar budgets. The budget is something that I believe everyone should consider a weakness, because I don't believe that any of us are CPAs that are running. So we do not have that type of background. So I would say that would be my weakness. But here's the great thing. I'm aware of that. And I know that we have accountants. I know we have CPAs. I know we have a finance team. That is where I'm going to be paying the most attention, because I want to make sure that I personally do not end up in a situation that we're currently in. I, don't know what happened. I'm listening like everyone else to find out about this $50 million, but I do understand about balancing a checkbook, balancing, reading a budget, understanding what expenditures are versus your planned budget for your proposed budget versus what your actual items for the month were. So I want to pay attention and make sure that every month I understand what's going on line by line with that budget, because that is something that the community is going to hold me accountable for. So that is what I'm going to focus on, to make sure that I am really on top of my game, because the budget is a huge issue now, billions of dollars, and it's something that we should take very seriously. And I believe everyone should be saying that's their weakness, because we need to really focus on that budget now in Hillsborough County.
So if you can't see yourself on the phone, you might want to turn it down just a little bit. There we go. Now you have your full face again.
Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yep. No. That's okay. I don't want to interrupt your flow, but I do know that you were only nose and above, and I know it's a new technology. So, so the next question is, what role does family and community engagement play in public schools?
Oh, family and community engagement are huge. Public schools are the pillar of the community. So one thing that I've been talking about is I'm not happy with the condition of some of our schools. Our schools should be something that everyone in the community is proud of. We have some kids that come from some unfortunate situations. School is the place of hope. School is the place where you find yourself. So school, first of all, should be the place that you're comfortable and that you're proud of. That's the first thing. And we need to fix that, because we need to make sure that our schools are in better condition, that they're up to par maintenance-wise, as well as that they're safe. And COVID has nothing to do with that. They should have been like that before. The community needs to be involved, because here's the thing. Education and our children, we're just beginning to start building our community through them. Once they're adults, they will live in the community and be an active part of the community. So we all need to invest in our neighborhood schools, regardless if we have children attending or not. It's important because those children grow up to be adults, and we want them to be productive, successful adults and parts of the community. So what I would like to see is Tampa has a huge philanthropic community. We don't have in District 5, we don't have some of the families like a South Tampa may have, for example, that may come in and write a check for a whole new turf for the football field. But we do have great organizations and great partners and great businesses here in Tampa. I would like to see District 5 engage more with those type of businesses and community service outreach projects, so we can get them to give back more to the neighborhood schools, have more community involvement, make the neighborhood schools once again a part of the community and something that everyone's proud of. In my hometown, you didn't miss a Friday night football game. And if you did miss it, you still had that shirt on when you went to the grocery store. We need to bring that type of pride back to our neighborhoods and our community.
Next question is, if elected to serve this term on the school board, how do schools, the district, and community look different in 4 years?
Say that again.
So if you were elected to serve this term on the school board, how do schools, the district, and the community look different in 4 years?
Okay, now I understand. Great question. First of all, I believe the role and the job of a school board member is a very serious job, and it's a tough job. One thing, I was talking to a community leader, and he said to me recently, he said, you should have about 3 goals for your 4 years. And if you're able to accomplish 2 of those, you've done well. And he said, what's your biggest concern, Selena? District 5 does not have basics. So when you ask me what the school would look like 4 years from now, I want to make sure that our schools are safe, healthy, and clean. Not just because of COVID, but even before that. There's no reason why our schools don't have the maintenance that they should have. There's no reason why we don't have soap. There's no reason why we don't have toilet paper. There's no reason why our schools are filthy and not clean. That is something that needs to change. So 4 years from now, when I'm elected, our schools will be safe. Now, COVID has occurred and the world is upside down. So a lot of people are now talking about those things. Those are things that we should have had in the very beginning. Those are basics. And that's just the start. Teachers are spending money out of their own pocket. Now, I've taught before, and sometimes you do that just because you love the classroom and you want extra, and that is great that you're willing to do that. But basic necessities like pencils, things like that, we need to make sure that our teachers have all the resources that they need and they're not spending money out of their pocket. That's unnecessary. So 4 years from now, I want to make sure that teachers have the supplies that they need to teach every day. 4 years from now, I would like to see that our children have more counselors in the school. We have to have alternative methods when it comes to discipline. District 5 leads the path. Hillsborough County, the prison pipeline, that means we need to look at some different alternatives to make sure that our children are receiving the services and the resources they need to live a productive life, to maintain themselves, not only in the classroom, but when they leave the classroom as well. So I have some goals. They're basic. They're very simple, but we don't have the basics in District 5, and it's time that we get them. And that's what I would like to see first.
Okay. So the next question is, what kind of school board member will you be if elected?
What kind of school board member will I be if elected? Approachable and accessible, a school board member who collaborates and is accountable. So let me explain that. So I have a 90-day plan, which is really an introduction of 90 days of who I plan to be. It's something I plan to carry on throughout the whole 4 years and forever, actually. Approachable and accessible. That's something that I expect of a school board member, and it's something that I've heard from the community in various conversations. You want your school board member to answer your phone calls, answer your emails. Usually when a parent goes to their school board member, they have been through the chain of command. You can tell I'm military. They've been through the correct protocol. They've went through all those ranks and they've made it to you. They want to be heard. So I will be approachable, accessible, and I will listen to not only parents, the community, teachers, and staff. Anyone who wants to talk to me, I will find that time and be approachable and accessible, because I believe that's very important. Also, I believe with being approachable and accessible, you also have to understand how to collaborate. Now, with collaboration, the one thing I would do is create task force. And I was just asked recently in a forum how I plan on creating 3 task force across the entire county. Well, I was speaking specifically on District 5, but I'd love for other people, of course, to join. But what I would like to see more of, these small task force meet monthly, a teacher task force, a staff task force, and a community task force. And they have their own agenda items, and they talk about their own topics, their own issues. And then they come up with their concerns, what they want me to know. And then I come in quarterly and I listen to them. And they've had the time to go through and really narrow down their concerns. And so we're not just all over the place, but we have genuine concerns that are policy and effective change driven. And then I can hear the concerns of the teachers, the staff, and the community, and take that information back to share with the rest of the board and to help implement and create effective policies, as well as collaborating once again with local businesses, philanthropic organizations, to make sure that the gaps that we are missing when it comes to parental involvement, when it comes to donations, that we can fill that gap with our philanthropic, very involved, community-oriented community that we have. So that's a part of my collaboration. And then accountability. So you hear often people say that the school board member holds the superintendent accountable. Well, when I look at elected officials, for example, the head of the nation, the president, they do a survey and they say, well, the popularity is this or that, or, you know, the weakness is, the strength is this or that. We need to do that with our local officials. As a school board member, I want you to hold me accountable. I want to know before my 4 years are up what I was doing good and what I was doing bad. Usually we don't hear about that until someone's up for re-election. Then, you know, people start talking about, oh, I didn't like this. I don't want that to happen. I want you to tell me yearly, quarterly, what you like, what you don't like, what I can improve, because we're working together. We're a team. And in any other job you have an evaluation, right? So you get evaluated as a teacher, you get evaluated as a principal. Every other job, there's an evaluation. So the school board member, me personally, I would like to be evaluated. I want to know what the community thinks, what I'm doing well, what I could do better at. So that's where I will be held accountable. I will reach out, send a survey, and let you rate me. Let you tell me you want to hear from me more. Let you say that, you don't believe that the way we're using this certain line item works for the spending in our area. I'm not sure. Whatever it is that you want to see me do better, I want to hear that feedback so I can grow as a leader and make sure that I'm serving our community at the fullest and the best possible capacity that I can.
Okay, the next question is, what are the responsibilities of the school board and individual school board members related to public education advocacy?
Great question. So the school board, of course, the responsibility of the school board, of course, is to hold the superintendent accountable and to maintain the budget. But when it comes to advocacy, the school board, of course, will go to Tallahassee to lobby and to really talk to our legislators on the needs and to make sure that they understand and that we are heard when it comes to new laws and policies that are being put in place for the state. I believe the school board member should, first of all, make sure that the community is aware of what they're going to Tallahassee when they go to session to speak about. I know I don't know. And luckily, I have been involved with a PTA for one of my daughter's schools, and we have a great advocacy person on that PTA. So then I have been able to hear kind of what Hillsborough County is doing when they go to Tallahassee. But I believe we could do a better job with letting the public know we're spending a week in Tallahassee during Education Week, and this is our concerns. These are the things that we think should be done, and this is what we're asking our state legislators to do to make sure that we improve education, not only in Hillsborough County, but across this state. So I believe the first thing we need to do is be transparent about the issues that we're advocating for when we make it to Tallahassee.
Okay, and last question. You're doing well with your time. Here's the last question. What does constituent outreach and constituent services look like under you as a school board member?
Well, constituent outreach, I believe that's a huge part of my platform. Community, community, community. I'm constantly saying that, being approachable and being accessible. The constituents, the community, you're hiring me. And you will be the ones, like I said before, to fire me after 4 years. So I believe it's important to continuously reach out and to make sure that there's a place for the community to be involved. Constituents sounds to me like a word that makes people seem so far away. So I like to call the constituents community. You are part of Hillsborough County, regardless if you have a child in the school or not. The school is a part of the community. So it is important that there are opportunities where members of the community can volunteer. It's important that there are opportunities where members of the community understand what is going on with the school, good and bad. Often some of the bad things make the press and social media, and that's what we hear. We need to do a better job of informing our constituents, informing the community of the good things that are going on within Hillsborough County as well. So one of the things that I want to make sure is that they're informed all the time. They know what's going on. They see what's going on down the street when they pass their local school. They can say, oh, that one of those kids graduated, with a 6 point something GPA and went to this school, or one of those kids, end up getting a plumber certificate at the age of 14. And stories like that happen. I just saw a post today with a young boy who's 14 years old who just got a certificate in Hillsborough County schools for plumbing. So those things, I believe, reaching out and communicating, making sure that we talk more about our schools locally and we put that information out so people know the good things about our school as well. Like I said before, making sure that there are more philanthropic opportunities for our great community that likes to volunteer, that likes to donate, so we can help supply and close those gaps when it comes to resources. Just making sure that the constituents understand that they are part of the school. Also understanding the needs, understanding the concerns. When you talk about advocating in Tallahassee, knowing what laws, what decisions that people are concerned about, what their worries are, making sure that you are lobbying, that you're speaking and you're talking about the real concerns of the community. And also being transparent, letting the community know what you can do and what you cannot do, what you're trying to do or when you're going to get to that. Just letting them know the steps. Often that's part of it. People just want to understand the steps and the process and know what's going on. And I plan on being a person that is approachable and accessible, collaborates, and is accountable for my constituents and the community.
Okay, you have about 1:30 left that you haven't used of your time. If there's anything else you'd like to say.
Yes, my name is Selena Ward. I'm running for School Board District 5. And, this has been quite a journey. Running for school board is something that takes a lot of courage. But you know what? I have realized now more than ever that I am doing this because I believe in our students. I believe in our teachers. I believe in education. This is a job that is labeled part-time, but let's be honest. District 5 needs someone that will be full-time. I plan on being full-time. I'm here. I'm dedicated. Win, lose, or draw, I'm not going anywhere. And I plan on being an active part of Hillsborough County schools in some capacity, starting today and moving forever forward. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you very, very much. We really appreciate it. As I explained to you when we contacted you about doing the interview, I'm going to wait until all of them are done. And then we'll post them on Monday morning. So that way no one will see the questions beforehand. Once I do post it, I will send you the information. So if you choose to use your video in any kind of way, you're welcome to do that. We will be sending it out to our subscribers in Hillsborough County and also to promoting it through social media. So we really thank you for participating.
Well, thank you so much. And I hope we didn't get that bad shot going up my nose too long.
No, it was just a little bit, but I thought you'd like to know. So thank you for bringing the camera down.
Thank
you. Have a
so
great
much.
day.
You have a great weekend.